I feel more tired looking at this. I'm tired of, constantly having to deal with this from this person. And I don't think that you're continuously wanting to fight for this. It would have been different had it been like the Seven of Wands, for example, right? But I also feel like you're moving into a place now where you've dealt with so much from this person that now it's time for you to start protecting yourself. But, there's also the, what am I going to have to deal with next? What else am I going to have to put up with? So you come in as the Seven of Cups. I look at that and I think that for a lot of you, there may have been like expectation as to, what was going to happen with this relationship. I don't necessarily think that you're stuck in like fantasy about something. But I think that there is miscommunication or misinformation, I should say, with the Page of Swords as how they're coming into this. They're not exactly being, upfront about everything, because I look at that as not having full disclosure, not having enough information, which is why we're needing to ask more questions. But it's something that, clearly they just need to tell you, they need to talk to you about. Because you have a very different vision of, where this relationship is going. But I also think that for some of you, you may be looking at it like, they're never going to give me the answers that I want. Maybe it's not going to live up to, the emotional expectations you have toward them and where the relationship is going. So then, though, you move into the Ten of Cups. But they're showing the Hermit. I think that you clearly here are wanting, the happily ever after, but I feel like this is something that's being missed. And it's only because this person is taking a distance from you. There's something that clearly they're, needing to figure out, and wanting to kind of be like left alone. Now, for you, I mean, this could be one of those situations where they're leading you to believe that eventually you're going to move into a place where, you're going to see that overall happiness. But I think that this is something that's being missed. But it's because of the other person. It's because of what they're needing to deal with on their own. And it's also, you dealing with a person, I feel like, that is not actually around you. Or, they're constantly like, yeah, I want to be with you, but I want to be alone though too, if that makes sense. Now, the Angel of the Night moving out of this for you is showing that you've been in the dark with this for a while. But you're coming out of this. Everything is going to start to lighten up. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I think that, they're wanting to kind of like, not so much that they're wanting to have a second chance. I mean, absolutely, that could be what you're dealing with here. But, once you're out of the dark place, what does that mean? Well, it means that with the Tower, you realize that there's been some fake bullshit here and things need to drastically change. And for you, though, coming out of the light may be like a collapse of what you were expecting, especially with that Seven of Cups and Ten of Cups kicking it off. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune, though, back on their side, I think that for them, I feel like they don't have control over what is going on in their life. I feel like for them, fate is just kind of like all over the place, right? They're not in control of their own fate. They're just letting shit kind of happen to them. But I also feel like, there's the second chance there, but there's also the repeating of the cycle. And it's the same bullshit again. And that looks very clear with the outcome. So besides the Tower, and everything that it needs to collapse, because there's different ways to look at the Tower, but when you go back to the traditional meaning, it's showing that something can no longer hold up. The Tower comes down for a reason. It's not something that, you can avoid. So like for me, if the Tower shows up in reverse, it's not about you avoided a disaster. It's you're trying to avoid it. It's inevitable with the Tower. It's going to happen. But I think for you, once the light shines on places where you've been in the dark dealing with this person, that's where all of it just kind of like, starts to crumble away. With the Four of Swords, I think for you, it's really, I need a break from this person. I'm tired of dealing with this, and I'm tired of dealing with them not communicating to me. Because I do think that for them, they kind of shut down. Now, with the Five of Pentacles, right? This is, for them, I think, definitely about the things that they don't want you to be involved with. They want to keep you out in the cold, and I'm hesitant to say this, but I think that you actually may be dealing with a person who thinks that if you drastically change things, that you've left them empty-handed, which is an arrogant fucking move. Like you've taken something from them, and I don't think that that's right. But like I said, for most of you, I think you're dealing with a person here who is going to leave you feeling empty-handed, but it's because they don't want you to be involved with them, what they're dealing with. It is all out rejection. Okay, and that's kind of where you're at, and it almost feels like the stalemate, but it's not the Two of Swords, but there's really nothing going back and forth between you at this point. So let's start from the beginning here. The star is always good to see because it follows the Tower anyway, so this is, you realizing that you deserve better than what you have experienced, but it's also saying that I think for you, there is a reason to believe that things can be better, if that makes sense. But with death, things can never go back to what they were. It's definitely done and over with. But I think for you, it's like needing to have hope restored again, and definitely needing to do some healing and some recovering from this. Now, after that, though, you're showing the Nine of Cups, right? Now, did this cause a transformation for this person? Absolutely, that's possible. But we're still talking about, somebody feeling like they're not getting what they want, but that's only because you're actually seeing the light of what is actually going on with them, if that makes sense, with that angel of the night being there. But with the Nine of Cups, we're talking about, wanting to have what they want. And that's basically how I look at that. Like, this is what I want, and I want to have it, and I want to have it now. It's almost like arrogant, and it's self-righteous. For you, with strength, you're like trying to gather your strength back up. And, for you, especially after losing hope in a situation, needing to find it again, it would make sense that for you, it's the strength to, get what you actually want, not what they're expecting. Especially if you're going to get involved with them again, if that makes sense. So then you move into this place with the Six of Pentacles, right? So trying to find the strength here to give to this, because there may be a reason to hope that, once all of this is gone and done with, that something better can emerge from this. But with the Page of Wands, I look at that and I think I'm trying to reserve judgment with this person. I really am. But I feel an arrogance coming off of them and a self-entitlement type of feeling. Now, I may be wrong, and that may not be what all of you are dealing with, but, I have to be honest with you about what I'm feeling here. The Page of Wands in this situation is, let's take that path, let's take that new road, but the thing is are you going to be left empty-handed if you continue this? And are they acting as if they have nothing left to give, that they expect you to give more to this? You need to start giving here. I don't have anything to give. But, if you want this like I want this, then this is what I expect, if that makes sense. But with death, it can never go back to that. We can never go back to the Tower. We can never go back to those moments where hope is lost, and there's this kind of like destruction in the relationship, and this like, oh, you are not who I thought you were, or this is not where I thought this relationship was going. The King of Cups, and then the Knight of Pentacles. So, man. So here's what I'm getting from this. There's definitely a lack of passion. There is a lack of passion, and I think that the reason why we're looking at passion is because you need to put yourself in that place where you start to feel that again, but I feel like this is lacking because of a person that you're dealing with here. So I really do think that for a lot of you, you may be dealing with a person who's trying to bridge the distance with you, because I kind of see that with the Six of Swords. Beyond that, though, the Six of Swords, I need to slow down here, is about being a little bit more adventurous with your love life. But I look at the Six of Pentacles and think, you weren't getting the attention that you wanted. And this person clearly saw this, but wasn't giving it to you. But now are we trying to bridge this distance with somebody who's not comfortable with it? Because that's what the Eight of Swords is. It's putting yourself in an uncomfortable position. And then of course you got the devil lurking in the background here. So, I think that for a lot of you, you may not be comfortable with, getting involved with a person here that just wasn't giving you what you needed in the first place. With the King of Cups, I look at that and I think that for a lot of you, when I look at the King and the Queen, I think about, people who are in love, and wrapped up in the emotions of love, right? But there's that wisdom there, though, too. I think that you have a lot of love with this for this person, them, you, but this is not a good situation. You're not comfortable with this. Now, you move into a place where it's just the same thing over again. The Four of Cups is the routine, things becoming dull. There is no excitement, there is no passion. So I think that for a lot of you, you just decide to be friends with this person because I don't think that you're comfortable with being involved with them again. It doesn't mean that you don't feel anything. But, this person may have, a lot of feelings for you that they can't get over either. But I think that you're okay kind of coming out because I don't think that there's a whole lot of interest with that Four of Cups. So, I think what's happening here is that looking at the moon, I don't know that somebody is really wanting to like accept that. There's like a certain fantasy that's being built up around, the connection with you. But the thing is with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like you're bursting the bubble on that, And I don't doubt that there's a part of you that may have fantasized about this person, but the thing is that it's an illusion, right? So you still end up as just, that's great and all, but I don't really want this. I don't really need this, but we're okay. We're cool, right? But I think that you might be dealing with somebody that's having a hard time getting over it. And yeah, I'm going to guess water for some of you here. But let's start with the Page of Wands. This is about looking beyond appearances, okay, and getting caught up in the passion. It's either you or them here that's wanting to just get caught up in me. Let's not look back at the fact that I didn't give you what you needed or I'm not capable of giving you what you need. Let's have this encounter and then you move into, the Knight of Cups, but somebody is not comfortable with it. And I think it's you. I think that you're not comfortable with just doing that. Despite the fact that there may be feelings that somebody is being very loving and romantic looking at the King of Cups. But like I said, it's like they are having a problem. They're having a problem seeing reality. It's almost like they don't want to accept that the two of you are just friends. It's like they want to live this out. But for you, it's like, nah, no. So I think that for a lot of you, you need to go to where you actually feel passion rather than dealing with somebody who can't give you what you need. And then the Ten of Cups, wow, man. And that's why you guys are needing to kind of like discuss how you're feeling because, where you come out at here. I don't believe that there is any cheating involved. I think that, for a lot of you that are in a relationship right now with the Five of Wands, unfortunately, you or the other person here is looking in on the relationship of others. Right? So I kind of look at this as you may be in a relationship where, like I said, you or the other person here may have tried to kind of like rekindle something with somebody from the past because you were kind of like looking in on their life, looking in on what they were doing. And that may be because, there are some things going on here within a relationship, and again, it's not going to be for everybody here. Now, the Eight of Cups is like, I don't know, I don't know that I want to get involved. Like, I have emotions, but I don't think that I can do that. So like I said, that's either you or the other person. Now, the Three of Wands and the Hangman. First of all, the Three of Wands is about realizing that somebody feels the same. And then kind of, giving into that, like, I didn't realize that you felt that way. I didn't know that. But with the Hangman, nothing's happening. So, I do think that somebody here is like, okay, I didn't know that you felt that way. I do feel the same way, but, I can't really move forward with this because, you may be involved somewhere else. They're involved somewhere else, but there's still, the bond, right? So now nothing really happens. I don't think that anything really happens. I think that if anything, you are looking at your current relationship, if that makes sense. So with the Six of Cups, you're looking back at, the past and how things were, right? And had, somebody not been spying in on somebody else, everything would have been fine otherwise. But with the Ten of Cups, we're talking about somebody who is not happy. Everything is not okay. Everything is not okay. One person is oblivious to it, though. And then the Nine of Cups. So here's what I want to say. And this is only for the Aries here that are already in a committed relationship where you may have had somebody from the past pop up. Because I think that that's what's kind of happening here. And I think that this person, who they were in the past, may have been like emotionally distant, like they weren't showing a whole lot of feeling. And I think that there is like a realization that there maybe was more there than what was initially thought. But this all starts because somebody is looking in on someone else's relationship here with the Five of Wands. And I think that at first there is a little bit of, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I think that when the realization that the emotions are the same happen, I think that that's where with the Wheel of Fortune you're looking at, which way are you going to go here? Either way, opportunity could be working out in your favor. But, where are you headed? With the Hangman, like I said, it's like almost nothing is really happening here. But you're clearly not fully happy with the relationship that you're in. And that's where the heart-to-heart conversations needs to come in, because that happiness is there. It's there. But now this could very well be that you find it somewhere else, though, too, which is possible. And it may be that it's time to talk about that, Wow, Aries, that's deep for me. And you guys are going to have to let me know. I think that you hold yourself back, though. And I think that that's what's happening with the Eight of Cups. Like you're holding yourself back like, I want to, but I shouldn't, or I can't. But the bond, right, with the Hangman, but again, nothing's happening. It's like waiting for somebody to become free or available almost.